Seed Vault is a facility that was built about 7 years ago on the archipelago of Svalbard, the island of Spitsbergen, which is about an hour and a half plane flight north of the northernmost point of mainland Norway.
Seed expert Kari Fowler helped create the global collection and so dug 130 metres into the permafrost. At the end of a long tunnel are 3 vaults. Inside are millions of different seeds sourced from every country in the world and covering all of the major food crops, a rare example of international cooperation. It's produced the biggest wheat collection on the planet.
We have seed samples of more than 150,000 different varieties or populations of wheat. It's the history of everything that wheat has encountered and everything that human beings have selected it for since the dawn of agriculture 12,000 years ago. You begin to get a sense of this huge, long history, a coevolution between wheat and human beings and in multiple climates, environments, and of course human cultures. It's really, quite astonishing.
And inspired by a man who died in relative obscurity, but is now widely recognised, travelling the world collecting the samples of the seeds that gave the world its food.
Nikolai Vavilov is sort of our patron saint in this field, if you will. He was one of the most famous geneticists of his time, and he assembled this huge collection of diversity in Leningrad and now St. Petersburg in Russia. But he was a geneticist, and that put him on the wrong side temporarily of history in the form of Joseph Stalin. And Stalin had Vavilov arrested, put in prison. His staff was managing at that time the largest collection of agricultural diversity in the world.
Famously in World War II, the Nazis surrounded Leningrad and that collection. The siege would last 900 days. Hundreds of thousands would die. And yet, as the tragedy unfolded, Vavilov's team were determined to protect the grains of wheat and other seeds they'd amassed.
In December of 43, I believe, some dozen
I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going.
Oh, for God's sake. Straight down here to the pot oil pub.
Right, okay.
The curator of the very large rice collection died at his desk.
Do you know where you're going from there?
With bags of rice.
Then why are we going this way?
It's not said anything.
But people in that institute
You shouldn't be relying on sat-nav.
saving the most important of
It's a
all
local
biological
supermarket.
resources for human beings, and they thought that
Why are
this
you
was the
relying on
resource
sat-nav?
that was going to